That's what we're doing this morning. Look at it, I got a cool sign for us. Woo! What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? It's Alpharetta, Georgia, baby. You know, if you're gonna show up to Georgia, you better bring the entire team.
Hello y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for stopping by. So what we're talking about today is the debates between our great governor Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. So I was going to be streaming it live yesterday, but unfortunately I was not able to do so. But I'm glad it happened that way because now I'm making a reaction video towards the whole thing. Now, I did watch it, and thanks to our friends at Fox and Friends and Fox, they have brought together a synopsis or the highlights of the debates. And so we're going to react to that. So, first of all, I believe that our great governor, Ron DeSantis, did a really, really great job. And I think a lot of people think the same thing. He came out the gate, bop, 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 bop. Gavin Newsom, as handsome as that man is, he was just like this. Very much deer in headlights. He had a lot of those deer in headlight moments. So Governor DeSantis was not playing around. He hit him home. He hit him with the homeless situation. He even whipped out pictures of feces on the ground. Poop. Shit in San Francisco. He whipped out pictures of shit. Gavin Newsom did not see that one coming. So it was great. There were times where it was very, very bland, but and I think it kind of went long. And at one point, they actually went overtime. So we're gonna get into the highlights of it all. But I just wanted to say again, thank you guys for coming on the channel, subscribing, sharing the content. It really motivates me to continue to churn it out and do this thing for you guys and for saving the country. At least that's why I do it. So it's my part in all of this. So without further ado, let's get into the highlights of the Ron DeSantis knockout of Gavin Newsom in the governor's debate, red state, blue state debates. Let's go. Before we continue with the video, here is a brief word from the sponsor of our video. Save America, save our values, save our traditions. Stop using woke platforms to spend your money. Stop. This episode of The Conservative Poet is brought to you by Mammoth Nation. Mammoth Nation is a conservative marketplace where you, the patriot, can go and purchase the items that you need. Mammoth Nation is an online subscription-based platform. So you have to be subscribed in order to get all the wonderful discounts. You can get up to 70% discounts on so many of the stores. They have phone services, services for food, traveling, hotel. They refuse to let anti-American companies join their platforms. The vendors have been carefully vetted and have been approved of conservative American values, which is one of the reasons we have partnered, because I do love what they offer. I love that they are offering opportunities to American vendors and American creators as well. So we are trying to put America first here. And that's one of the things we do on this channel. And so I support Mammoth Nation and what they do to put conservative American businesses first. So visit Mammoth Nation today so you can get the discounts that you deserve with American-made products. So use code Amania S. That's AMANIA S. Again, that's Amania S for your discounts today on these amazing opportunities.
It was an incredible debate last night about liberty and freedom versus human decay, decay on the streets between Gavin Newsom and the governor from the free state of Florida, Ron DeSantis. And it was right here in Alpharetta, Georgia. So we decided that we were going to have some breakfast with our friends this morning to see what they thought about it. I can't wait to talk to them all. A lot of interesting opinion already before the show even started, guys. I'm going to send it back to y'all in New York.
State debate took place last night. It was an hour and a half, and there was a half hour of analysis. It was phenomenal. It was great to watch. And I loved what Ari Fleischer said after the debate. He said, Dems are from Mars, Republicans are from Venus.
That is such a true statement. Republicans are from Venus, Dems are from Mars. It's such a true statement because Republicans and Democrats, we just don't see things the same way. Even out here in these streets, when I'm in the same room with them, when I'm hearing them talk and I'm hearing their point of views, and I'm even online, and when I'm hearing it and seeing it, even with other YouTubers like Democrat YouTubers, and I'm just like, wow, we really don't see things the same way at all. For today, I was out in the marketplace, and somebody approached me with a ballot to put abortion on the with a petition to put abortion on the ballot. Like, once I saw them, I already knew what it was, and as I was leaving out the store, I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna approach me. And he did, and he says, ma'am, would you like to sign up to save women's rights and give women's right to choose? And I let him go on and on and on and say his whole thing. And then my response was very shocking because he didn't expect that. And I says to him, do you know that it's only 1% of abortions that's caused because of incest or rape? 99% of the other ones, not the case. And I said, do you see this bracelet that I'm wearing here on my arm? I said, it says, let them live. Defend the defenseless. And I walked off. And he was yelling after me, well, women's rights and women's rights and women's rights. And I'm like, did somebody let you live? How is it that you can't let other children live? So again, they are on a different planet. We're on different spectrums of the whole thing. We're on opposites in everything.
Yeah, but it was good to see because Republicans usually debating Republicans. There's no Democratic debates. You saw some dramatics. The question was, I think that when one didn't want to answer the question, they would just change the subject. And then when the other one did want to answer the question, we were just dying for an answer. For example, if you are Gavin Newsom, how could you possibly defend your border? If you were Gavin Newsom, how could you possibly defend policy in San Francisco and the homeless situation in California? And one thing he would just go out to do to make Governor Ron DeSantis look mean and narrow-minded.
And what Lawrence was talking about, the defecation, Ron DeSantis held up a picture of feces, a map of feces in California because he says that they plot it. Lawrence, should we show some highlights?
Yeah, let's show some.
Hit play.
So I was talking to a fella who had made the move from California to Florida, and he was telling me that Florida is much better governed, safe, better budget, lower taxes, all this stuff. And he's really happy with the quality of life. And then he paused and he said, by the way, I'm Gavin Newsom's father-in-law. So we do count Gavin's in-laws as some of the people that have fled California.
That was one of the best moments, in my opinion. I mean, Governor DeSantis literally had him by the balls, the family jewels balls, because I don't know if this is true, because if it is true and that happened, I mean, Newsom has no, how do you come back from that? He had nothing he was just standing there looking, again, deer in headlights. He had nothing to say, but I mean, if this thing was really true, if that had really happened, can you imagine your own kinfolk leaving your state because it's so horrible and you're the leader, your own kinfolk? That'd be too funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can handle it. I'm used to bullying. You're nothing but a bully.
You're a bully.
I understand that. Intimidating and humiliating people.
But, you know, California does have freedoms that some people don't, that other states don't. You have the freedom to defecate in public in California. You have the freedom to pitch a tent on Sunset Boulevard. You have the freedom to create a homeless encampment under a freeway and even light it on fire.
That was one of the hammers that Governor DeSantis brought that completely destroyed Gavin Newsom. To flip the script, to turn it around, to say, yeah, your state is free. They're free to shit on the streets. They're free to piss on the streets. They're free to have needles everywhere. They're free to defecate everywhere. They're free to rob and steal and destroy the country, to destroy your state. Yeah, they're free. They're free to do law and chaos. Lawlessness and chaos. That's what they're free to do in your state. And that's why people are fleeing. I mean, Governor DeSantis came with the punches. He did a great job.
There's one thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
That was Newsom's way of dragging President Trump into a conversation, saying again, well, yes, we know that DeSantis is not going to be the nominee. We know that. And so to throw salt on the wounds, right? He's saying, yeah, I'm not going to be it and you ain't going to be it either. And I actually think Newsom might be the nominee because we all know that Joe Biden can't do this. We all know that he's out here strutting himself, going to China, going here, bringing people here, doing all these things. It's not because he's no. We all know Gavin Newsom is running. He's just not ready to come out here just yet. They're still ironing out the details of what he's going to do. But to throw salt on DeSantis's wound, that was pretty cruel of Gavin Newsom. But hey, you know, it is what it is. So that was a good shot on Gavin Newsom's part to throw that in. That was a real zinger.
We have to get real here. We have to understand that Biden is not objective. He has no business running for president. And, you know, Gavin Newsom agrees with that. He won't say that. But that's why he's running his shadow campaign.
So Gavin Newsom running a shadow campaign, as DeSantis puts it, which is very, very true. Even Sean Hannity said to Newsom, will you sign something? Will you sign something right now telling the American people, are telling us that you are not going to be running, that you're not going to run for president? Will you sign something? And he says, look, I'm not running. You know, he didn't say he was going to sign anything. He said, I'm not running. You know, there's no need for anything. But DeSantis got him by rights. Yes, you're running a shadow campaign. You're just too chicken to come out here and stand up against Biden right now. But you're going to wait for the party to just deliver it to you, give it to you. Kind of funny how that's going to work out for Kamala Harris.
Well, I will take Joe Biden at 100 versus Ron DeSantis any day of the week at any age.
Newsom was really sent out here to just make things good for Joe Biden. I mean, all he did was praise the Biden-Harris economy, how wonderful it is for people, how wonderful it is, how Biden-Harris is so wonderful. This economy is just wonderful, just like California is wonderful. And Ron DeSantis made a couple of points, which I thought was very, very interesting. And he stated that Newsom was governor of San Francisco. Look what he did to San Francisco. Look at the shape San Francisco is in right now. It used to be a beautiful city. Now it is a disgrace with the homeless and the drugs and the crime and all of this all over the city, tents everywhere. And now he's governor of California. And so they've moved the San Francisco model into different areas of California. And so now tent cities are in different places, LA, Skid Row and a whole lot of different places in California. So the mayor's model in San Francisco, and now the governor's model as California, the whole state, destroyed San Francisco, destroyed California. And now they're looking to do the model for the whole country. Okay, so again, tent cities in every country and in every state, everywhere, drugs, crime, all this rapidly in every area. Again, the San Francisco model to the California model, and now this is what they want to do to the United States of America. And Ron DeSantis made a great point of showing that. And you can see it. It is absolute truth. You can see it in these liberal cities, Baltimore, New York, all these great cities, Chicago. All of these places are falling, and not just because of the illegal aliens, but because of these Democrat policies and what they're doing to these cities. So Governor DeSantis was on point with that. And Newsom is saying you would take Joe Biden at 100 than DeSantis. I'm sure you would, because this is what you want, because Joe Biden is destroying the country. This is what you want. You want it to be destroyed. So Governor DeSantis would be looking to save it, even though we know he's not the guy in 2024 to do that. But either way, if it's him or if it's Trump, either way, all y'all want to do on that side is destroy the country. You want to turn it into just like San Francisco and just like what you've done in California.
So it's interesting because, I mean, Sean did a terrific job last night. And one thing that he did different than some of the other debates is he had these charts through the entire program of what was happening in Florida and what was happening in California. And Ron DeSantis really painted this picture of, look, these are the facts here. This is what I've been able to do as governor. But Newsom, everything that DeSantis did, he tried to attack him as a bad human, which was interesting because at the end of the day, I'm not sure average day people care about the personal attacks, but it looks like Newsom wanted to just say, you're a bad guy, he can't be elected. And
the brutal truth was definitely displayed for Newsom on this debates. I mean, Hannity had different slides. Here's how California did. Here's how Florida did. Here's the numbers for California. Here's the numbers for Florida. This is what you did, Newsom. This is what DeSantis did. I mean, the brutal truth was there for him, and he would not accept it. I mean, these things just made him look so foolish when you could literally see, okay, this is what happened. This is this. And it was bad for California. It did not look good for him at all. So again, good for Sean Hannity for thinking in advance and producing these things to say, hey, Gavin, here's where we are with all of this. And one thing that Gavin Newsom did say is that he is having struggles with the open borders that's happening in his state. And he's saying that he wants to fix these things. I don't know, but it was pretty brutal for him to see those facts in reference to his state when it compares to the great state of Florida.
Your overall feeling, Brian, about this?
My overall feeling is two talented people with very different views. It would be a very different America if one of them got elected and the other one didn't. And number two is I just feel like Gavin Newsom is an actor. I feel like he stares in the mirror and finds out, what does confident look like? What does a swagger look like? What does a smile look like? Is a knowing smile look like? I don't feel there's an authenticity there.
Right.
A lot of people disagree with me. That's just how I feel.
I think it's either you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. Which one do you side with? Because they both had strong moments last night. They're clearly very presidential. And maybe one day we will, one of them or both of them could be our president.
Under Gavin Newsom, we know what America would look like. It's just a continuation of the Joe Biden economy. It's a continuation of what we're seeing in what we see in San Francisco, what we're seeing in California. It's the same thing. They're just gonna, make it more grand for the rest of the country. So we already know what America will look like under Gavin Newsom and the way he has already ruined San Francisco and ruined California, and he's going to ruin the United States, continue to ruin the United States, because Joe Biden has really already ruined it. But he will continue to, to crush the country. So that's where Gavin Newsom is. So we know what kind of leadership he would have. And we know what kind of leadership Governor DeSantis would have. Look at what he's done in Florida. Look at his track record. Look at what he's done. I mean, he won re-election in the midterms with amazing numbers. Look at what he's done. The people love him here in Florida. And I know he's got a long way to go to convince that of the country, but I believe if President Trump was not the guy right now, DeSantis could have probably been the guy. Um, you know, but again, it's not his turn. Trump is the guy, and Trump is who's going to make this thing work out for us. But just to imagine this the way a DeSantis administration would be, it would be the way Florida is right now, where he's got a great economy, crime is low, jobs are being opened up. He has a great record here, and I think he would mimic that in the bigger picture. Gavin Newsom, same thing. He would mimic it in the bigger picture, but he would destroy the country or finish destroying it because Joe Biden has taken that on.
Newsom was authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the independent voters, though, because that is the pool of voters. The country is evenly divided, right? So we're all going after probably that 5 to 8% of voters there. And that's what scares me about Newsom. He did this thing at the end that I thought was so crafty. So after he beat Ron DeSantis up about saying how a bad human he is, he's ignoring all the good policies in Florida. He goes, you know what, Ron? We disagree about the route to take as a country, but I think you're a great family man. You had a beautiful wife, beautiful kids. I thank you for your service. And it's those moments that gravitate independent voters. It was very Obama-esque, and I think we better be prepared for him. He may not be the nominee this time, but he's going to be on the ballot eventually, and I worry about his craftiness.
Right. I do know we can complete a sentence, so that's unlike.
Did you notice at the end? Did y'all notice at the end when Sean said y'all each say something nice about each other's states, and Ron went on and on about California and his service there, and then when Newsom had to say something, he didn't say anything positive about Florida. He just complimented his wife.
Right. Okay.
So overall, Governor DeSantis took home the trophy. He took home the crown, because he was definitely the winner of that debate. And there was a lot more zingers and different moments. So if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to go and watch, just for entertainment purposes, sure, and just to really get to know Governor DeSantis a little bit more. He's really caught a lot of flack because of how he's been doing in the debates for the presidential candidacy, but we love him. He does great work, and he's really hasn't really shined in this whole debate as far as the presidential go. But tonight he really did shine. He did really stand up, and he stood up for himself, and he stood up for Florida, and he brought his A game. And even though I know he's not the guy for us in 2024, but it's still good to see that he still has that fight in him. It's still good to see that he can still come out here swinging and doing the things that we know he can do, especially when he takes on the wokeness and the Disneys and all of these wokeism, all of these things that he's done during his tenure. Has been amazing, and we love him, and we love what he's done here in our great state. And so it was really good to see him shine on these debates last night. And again, go and watch the whole thing. You can find it there on YouTube. If I can find a link to I don't think there's a whole link to it, but to the whole thing, but I'm sure you can find it. And so I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you all for watching and sharing this moment and hearing some of my thoughts. And maybe I will link to the whole Fox and Friends skit there. You can see it without me constantly breaking it up and giving my thoughts. Maybe I'll do that. That way, that might be better for you. So again, thank you all. And I appreciate your comments, shares. It really does help the channel with the algorithm. I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, which would be great if I could do that by Christmas. Could really use your help. It would be a great thing for me for Christmas. But any event, just thank you all for tuning in and sharing the content. So I will see you in the next video. God bless you and God keep you.